The Dallas Mavericks received good and bad news in last night's game against the Portland Trail Blazers. We're going to start here with the good news. Welcome back, 77. Luka came back after a 5-game absence with that right wrist sprain. The wrist was still wrapped, and he looked like he was pretty healthy, though. And one thing I really noticed about Luka is he looked like he was well-conditioned and in shape to go 40-plus minutes. And looking at his stats last night, man, he didn't even miss a beat. 36 points, 7 rebounds, 13 assists, 3 steals as well. He's doing well in that department. The shooting was excellent, 15 of 24 from the field, 4 of 10 from 3. When you're getting this from Luka, you're going to win a lot of ball games. Even when the Mavs were missing 4 major rotation players, Luka looked very fresh and very energetic last night. And I think that was an extremely encouraging sign. Look, there was a lot of talk on Mavs Twitter when Luka wasn't playing about how fast this team is playing and how much energy they're having and how Luka is going to fit in. And I think those were valid concerns, to be fair, because we know when Luka comes in the game, the Mavs like to play a little bit slower. They're not going to play at the pace that they did 2 years ago where they were last in the league, but they do play at a little bit of a slower pace. And having Luka being able to push the ball up the floor, find the open teammates to the tune of 13 assists, and be able to kind of just carry what the Mavs have been doing on the offensive end over the last few weeks or so, I think it was a great sign to see. Now, I wanted to ask this question as well. Is the All-NBA in danger? If you remember, the NBA put in place the rule last season where you have to play a minimum of 65 games in order to be eligible for postseason awards. That includes MVP, scoring champion, and All-NBA teams, etc., etc. Luka is currently on pace to fall short of that 65-game threshold. He's on pace to play about 58 games. And it wouldn't shock me at all if he didn't get to the 65, which would, make him eligible for his 6th straight consecutive All-NBA first team. When you look at his career games played, the max is 72 out of 82, and that was in his rookie season. He's going to miss ball games. He's played in 465 total games, including the postseason. This year, he's played in 15 of a possible 21, including missing the last 5. It wouldn't shock me in the least if he ended up playing less than 60 games. And at the end of the day, it's just the nature of the NBA right now. Stars aren't playing. Teams are resting a lot of their rotation guys on back-to-backs, and they're just trying to get as fresh as they can for April, May, and hopefully June. I hope this is the last injury that Luka has, and the next times he misses games are on the first or second night of a back-to-back, and they're just for rest purposes. I hate that teams rest players, but I know that's just what's going to happen in the NBA so far. But hopefully, Luka, last injury of the season, stays healthy, stays in shape, and is ready to carry this Mavericks team to another deep playoff run. I did want to ask you guys, though, this is going to be today's poll question. 60 games played for Luka Doncic this year. Type M for more, type L for less. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. When you get hit with the YouTube ad break, go on down there and get your votes on whether or not you think Luka is going to play more or less than 60 games. Coming up, we'll get to the latest Mavericks injury concerns, which is the bad news that we're going to talk about here on the back end of this show. But before we get into that, I do need to tell you guys about our sponsor, which of course is PrizePicks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. We absolutely love PrizePicks here on Mavericks Today. PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. And PrizePicks also invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks does not hit. And they, of course, put their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. And when my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. I got a little Monday projection here for you guys. Monday Night Football, I'm going to take the more on Bo Nix passing yards at 224.5. I'm going to take the less on Jerry Jeudy receiving yards at 59.5. Him against Patrick Surtain will be a good matchup. And then we're going to throw in the Dallas Stars, who also play tonight. I'll take the more on Miro Heiskanen, half a point. You can copy my picks or you can fade them. Just please make sure you do it with PrizePicks. And another great thing about PrizePicks is they offer Venmo as well for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account this sports season. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get a $50 bonus when you play your first $5 lineup. Again, Download the app today. Use code CLNS for a $50 bonus when you play your first $5 lineup. Shout out PrizePicks for sponsoring today's show. Run your game. So here's what the injury report looks like for the Mavericks right now. Klay Thompson has missed the last 4 games with plantar fasciitis. We'll talk about Klay in depth here in just a second. Derek Lively missed the Portland game with knee hyperextension. I hope that it was just resting him on a back-to-back, and that was just the injury designation they used. And same with Kyrie. I think Kyrie is fine. They just wanted to give him the night off. And it worked out because they ended up beating Portland. The game was crazy, by the way. I mean, Anthony Simons going for 24 in the third quarter and then fouling out with 8 minutes left in the game. And Portland shooting like 12 of 14 from the field in the fourth until the last 2 minutes. It was a crazy game, but nonetheless, that's what the Mavs injury report looks like. I think the big concern here, though, is clearly Klay Thompson. He's missed the last 4 games. They ruled him out of the road trip. He didn't even travel with the team. I have cause for concern, man. There's no indication on his return right now. And this is sort of the game you play when you're signing 34-year-olds who have a lot of mileage on their bodies and have a lot of games played in this league and have prior pre-existing injuries and whatnot. We know Klay had the Achilles and the ACL back in the day. So he's going to be a little more injury prone, and now he has a plantar fasciitis thing. And I'm not a doctor by any means, so don't take my words for gospel, but that thing doesn't really go away. It's something you have to manage throughout the season. And there's always going to be risk of him missing time, given his prior history with injuries and how many games and how many minutes he's played in the league. Now, the question, when Klay returns, we've talked about this before, will it be in a bench role? I kind of think I want to see it because the way Quentin Grimes is playing right now, he deserves to be in this starting lineup, plain and simple. I mean, Quentin has been an absolute revelation for this team. The Mavs offered him a 3-year, $27 million extension, which he rejected. And right now, that's looking like a great move for Quentin Grimes, who's going to enter restricted free agency this summer. Over the last 3 games that Grimes has played, this is the best stretch of his career by far. It's the first time he's ever eclipsed 20 points in 3 consecutive games. Look at the shooting numbers. 7 of 13, 9 of 16, 9 of 13, 4 of 8 from 3, 5 of 11 from 3, 5 of 7 from 3. He's making shots at an extremely high clip, and he's making shots that are big as well. He's hitting a lot of high leverage shots. He's playing great on defense. And I think right now he deserves a spot in this starting 5. If I had to pick my ideal starting 5 at this very second, and of course it's subject to change, it would be Luka, Kyrie, Grimes, Washington, and Lively. I think that should be your starting 5 going forward for the foreseeable future. Until Klay can nurse this thing back to full health, you try to manage his minutes as much as you can by bringing him off the bench. And I'm not trying to exile Klay Thompson from this rotation whatsoever. I just think that right now, Grimes is playing the best basketball of his career, and you have to capitalize on that as much as you can while you can. So I think Quentin Grimes should be in this starting lineup for the foreseeable future. But let me know what you guys think. Who would you start between Klay and Grimes? Type 31 if you think it should be Klay Thompson. Type 5 if you think it should be Quentin Grimes. I think Grimes should. I think Klay will. I think Klay is going to end up being the starter when he comes back. It's very rare that you lose your starting spot due to injury unless you're injured so often that they just have to replace you and operate under the assumption that you're not going to be there. So I think Klay gets his starting spot back, but if he struggles out of the gate and he can't make a lot of shots and he can't defend at as high of a level as he was early in the season, I could see the Mavs making a switch and going to Quentin Grimes in this starting 5. I think that's certainly a storyline to watch going forward here in the month of December, and we'll have you guys up to date with all of the latest Mavericks news and rumors, analysis, watch parties. Not sure we're going to be able to get to a watch party this week. I wish we could, but with everything going on at Chat Sports, I think this week we may take a week off, but we'll be back at it next week. So please hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up icon if you haven't already, and we'll see you soon here on the channel.